What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between the Firestone Walker Brewing Company, and they are headquartered in Paso Robles, California, and the Russian River Brewing Company, and they are out of both Santa Rosa and Windsor, California, and this is their STiVO, the 2025 release. So this is a Keller Pils that comes in at 5.3% alcohol by volume, 35 IBUs at the time of review. This can is exactly 3 weeks old. And I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to Firestone Walker for this beer. So Firestone Walker, and more specifically Sean from Firestone Walker, reached out recently and wanted to know if I'd be, game to review some of their beers this year. And of course I told him, yes, definitely. However, the caveat being, I would be 100% honest and transparent with my reviews. And Sean responded, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, that's what we like to hear. So he fired off a 4-pack of this as the first beer, I guess. And I know that they are sending this to other beer tubing friends of mine because a couple of very good friends of mine and fellow beer tubers, Joe over at Jow's Arcade and Dan and Mike over at FLX Beer Reviews, have received this beer at the time I am reviewing this one. So that's pretty cool. There's probably going to be more beer tubers getting their hands on this one. This is a limited release. They do have a nice little card here I thought was pretty cool that they sent me. You got the logo, Keller Pils, basically the can art right here. And then on the back, they have a little spiel, which I will read. It says, "The legend returns. STiVO, our collaboration with Russian River, is back and ready to make your spring just a little bit crisper. Part Pivo, part STS Pils, 100% crushable. We brewed this one for the die-hard craft fans like you, because let's be real, you deserve it." I definitely don't. I don't deserve anything. It says, crisp, unfiltered, and dry hop to perfection. STiVO blends German and Belgian Pilsner malts with Saphir and French Aramis hops, bringing a lemony, floral, and herbal punch balanced by bready, cracker-like malt. The finish, as iconic as these two California legends teaming up once more. Don't sleep on this one. It's a limited run. Available only at Firestone Walker tap rooms while supplies last if you need to stock back up. In the meantime, let your friends know. Tag us in your STiVO moments at Firestone Walker, at Russian River Brewing Official. It means the world to see you enjoy our beer. Cheers, friends. So it's a promotional kind of thing, right? So they brewed this one for the first time, I want to say it was 2016. It's a mashup of Firestone Walker's Pivo Pils and Russian River's STS Pils. I've only reviewed the STS Pils on the channel. Gave it a 4.8. My favorite American brewed Pilsner, period. Fantastic beer. Pivo Pils, also delicious. Last time I had it was on draft about 5-6 years ago. Absolutely fantastic. No, actually, it might have been a couple years ago. I had it on tap within the past 5 years. Love that beer. Don't see it anymore here in the Buffalo, New York area, and certainly not fresh cans. I need to review it at some point. So this is going to be good. Now, the whole thing about being honest and transparent with the reviews, the reason I mentioned that at the beginning is because I've had breweries reach out to me, about a half dozen in the past, where they want to send me beer, and I tell them straight up, I'm going to be honest with the reviews, ghosted. Firestone Walker, they didn't ghost me. They want it. So good breweries want to hear constructive criticism, even if it's just from a random dude on YouTube that doesn't know anything. So I'm going to crack this one open, get in the glass, see what we got going on. We do have the hashtag proper glassware. Not really proper glassware. It's the Firestone Walker Tiku, but according to Joe over at Jow's Arcade, hashtag proper glassware makes everything taste better. So I am excited for this one. And, it's cool when breweries reach out, but it's even better when they're open and receptive to honest feedback, because I think it doesn't matter if you're an actual brewery like Firestone Walker and Russian River who don't need somebody like me's opinion to matter, but it's still cool they want to hear honest thoughts on this one, although it's not going to matter. Firestone Walker's huge, but it's still cool. Just keep that in mind. Anyway, that looks absolutely beautiful in the glass. I think anyway. Yeah, I mean, let's get out the contraband flashlight. As you can see, has a decent carbonation stream going up, has this beautiful yellow golden color, about a 2 to 2.5 fingers of a soap sudsy, bright white looking head. Good clarity. You can see, the shadow of my hand, but not make it out perfectly because this is an unfiltered lager. It's not the top tier clarity, but there is some clarity here. And yeah, it looks absolutely beautiful. And again, we got the hashtag proper glassware, Firestone Walker Tiku. I've had this Tiku since like 2012-13. It's just one of my favorites, honestly. Anyway, let's get a nose. Yeah, that smells good. So the reason why I lost my shit, so to speak, over STS Pils when I reviewed it a couple years back, It had such a depth of flavor for 5.3% Pilsner. It had a complexity that was absolutely through the roof. It had a great like sourdough bread, a little bit of rye bread, but the finish is what won me over. It was dry, it was moderately bitter, but it still retained a little bit of sweetness. It had a beautiful like spicy herbaceousness. And this off the first whiff kind of reminds me of STS Pils. It has this jumpy, punchy lemon character over top of a big sourdough bread vibe, like a slightly, ever so slightly toasted, not really toasted, but slightly toasted sourdough bread vibe. Yeah, it just has that like almost like rye spice to it. Beautiful herbaceousness, nice floral kind of component. Lemony, maybe a touch of like a little bit of like an underripened orange. Touch of like a lighter, like kind of like a pear apple. I say that a lot with especially German lagers. A touch of that sulfur note you get from the fermentation in a lager. Yeah, it smells so fucking good. Listen, I knew this was going to be good. I haven't even tasted it yet. I just knew it was going to be good. STS Pils, fantastic beer. Pivo Pils, fantastic beer. You combine them, this should be a fantastic beer. I didn't have the original release of this one back in 2016. However, I know a couple people who had gotten their hands on that. They said it was an awesome beer. And that's what this smells like. Smells like an awesome beer. Doesn't smell as good as STS Pils when I reviewed it 2 years ago, but it's not really far off. It smells like, to me, like a more kind of robust Pivo or a slightly kind of less impactful in the nose STS, which, trust me, is a good thing. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, or should I say Prost? That was another thing with STS Pils. The level of bitterness is bigger than like a regular like German Pils or like German Helles or some kind of lighter Pils in general. It has a nice, they dry hop it, but it's punchy. It's firmly bitter. And this is fresh at 3 weeks old. So this is fucking great. Buying this one, medium body. They probably say full body for the style because it's 5.3% and it's a Pilsner and it's a lager. But it's definitely like medium, maybe a skosh over medium. The mouthfeel is exactly what you want. The one thing I remember about STS Pils was it reminded me mouthfeel-wise of like a Hefeweizen or a Wit beer, Belgian Wit beer. And what I mean by that is it very crisp and effervescent on the palate, but still retains like a smooth, almost creamy sensation going down on the second half of the palate. It's kind of wild how those styles do that, but this beer also does it. So it's a crispy boy for sure, but it's smooth and it has a touch of creaminess on the finish, which is kind of wild. It's fucking, I just want to sit here and drink this. I don't want to talk about it. All right, so taste profile. It's everything I said in the nose. Omnipresent, bready, sourdough bread, grainy, just big malt character. That is the predominant note. It's omnipresent. And a lot of times I'll say it never steps in the way. Here, it's just always present. Like you always have that. It like hits in the front, kind of mellows out through the middle of the palate and then hits you again on the finish. It's an awesome characteristic. On top of that is waves of like zippy, zesty lemon, a little bit of a brighter lemon. There's some of that apple and pear I was talking about, an underripened orange. Not a bunch of juiciness, but more like zesty, pithy, rindy. And then on the finish, that spicy herbaceousness from the hops hits. A little bit of a floral grassiness as well, but more to me, spicy and herbaceous. To me, this actually tastes more akin to STS Pils than Pivo. But again, in my mind, I'm like, what does Pivo taste like? And I haven't had that beer, like sitting down and having an entire like can of it or bottle of it, probably in like 8 or 9 years. Last time I had it was on draft and I got it in a flight, so I had like 5 ounces of it. So it's criminal that I haven't reviewed Pivo Pils, but I remember it, the last time I had it on tap, they gave it like a 4.25. That is a great Pilsner, and I've appreciated the style more since the first time I had it back in like 2015-ish or 16. So for me, I want to review that fresh at some point. If I can find a can of it fresh in Buffalo, New York. We almost get no Firestone Walker distribution. Local places actually have to specifically order to get it, like specifically. So they're not pulling out of New York State, but they're kind of pulling back, which is a bummer. But anyway, this tastes more like an STS Pils with a little bit of maybe not as boisterous or over the top, more mellow and drinkable. But 5.3%, you can't tell. There's a touch of that lagery, again, sulfur note. It hits more towards the finish for me, like maybe 2/3 of the way through the palate, the finish. Yeah, this is super dry, more moderately bitter than anything. Beautiful balance. If anything, this leans a little bit more bitter and dry than I think you'd see out of the style, but it is Firestone Walker and Russian River. So you think a little bit of like a hop forward kind of punch on this one would be appropriate, and it is. I never had the 2016 offering. This is the first time I have it, the 2025 release. And not because they sent it to me, not because I love both these breweries, but because what's in my glass right here is fucking phenomenal. I just want to sit here and drink the rest of it. Look at the glass lacing. It's spectacular. Yeah, this is fucking great beer. I gave STS Pils a 4.8. Can I give this that high? I cannot. If I give Pivo Pils a 4.25, I'm going to say this is somewhere like right in the middle of both beers from what my memory is, which is poor. But so if we kind of split it right down the middle, I'm just going to go, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this a very simple, easy, on the nose, 4.5 out of 5. This is one of those beers where if you put it in like a hype breweries, like I know Russian River's hyped, right? But Firestone not as hyped anymore, although I still love them. Sukaba and Parabola, world-class beers that are still my favorite to date. But if you put this into like, let's say, a Human Robot or a Schilling or, think of other Suarez and breweries of that nature, lager breweries are like, I want to say like old school kind of style breweries. This, I think we get high marks for sure. Because it's a Firestone Walker beer, I don't know. But all I know is it's a 4.5 out of 5, and it's fucking delicious. Price point and availability, I already talked about availability. Says only available at the tap room. I don't know if you can like order this online from Firestone Walker and get it shipped in within California, but check out their online website if they have a store or whatever. I don't know if this is already sold out. I don't know if they can still get it, but they were nice enough to set up my way, and it seems it's like California only. And the price point was $15.99 a 4-pack. I did see it. Maybe I did see it at one of the... No, you know what? It was one of the promotional things, and it was like MSRP was like $15.99 a 4-pack. So $4 a can, yeah. I mean, I talk a lot of times about the upper echelon breweries that do these types of styles as far as American breweries go, typically like in the $15, $16, $17, $18 range for a 4-pack, so that's right in the wheelhouse. This is a 4.5 out of 5. I would have no issues paying $15.99 a 4-pack for something quality like that. I also have their website open here. I wanted to mention one thing because when I read about the beer, like the history of it, it says, while former STiVO batches were brewed exclusively with Weyermann Pilsner malt, this batch blends in Dingemans Pilsen malt from Belgium, which Russian River now uses for their lagers. We also played around with the dry hop, adding Abstrax Aramis Quantum Brite hop extract, which Russian River had custom made for them by Abstrax. You know what? And why I'm here, I didn't look it up, but let's just see. I guarantee this is under a 4 on Untappd. Doesn't matter. We'll make this, it's already at like 14 minutes by the time I cut everything out. Probably like 13 minutes. This will probably be 14 minutes by the time it's done. I just want to see what the Untappd rating on this would be. I'm very curious. I'm thinking it's a sub 3. Yeah, 3.83. When I was looking it up, there wasn't like 2016 and 2025 separating. A 3.83 is criminal for this beer. My friends at least know what's going on. They give it an average of a 4.14. Yeah, this is an amazing beer, and I have 3 more. They sent me an entire 4-pack, which was cool. I'm going to share them locally with some friends because they need to try this one, and I'm going to definitely at least drink one more off camera. So if you've had this one before or had anything from Russian River or Firestone Walker kind of in this realm, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. On the channel here, I just want to talk briefly. I'm almost at 4K subs. I'm like, as I'm reviewing this one, I'm around like 30 subs away. So if you're a new viewer to the channel, please subscribe. It really does help the channel out. I never ask in my reviews for subs or likes. I always ask for comments because I like comments. I like talking to you guys. But I really do appreciate everybody who views and follows the channel. But if you're not subscribed and you do watch the vast majority of my reviews, please post or please subscribe and post a comment and well, let's talk. That's what this is all about. It's a fun hobby here. Cool, like breweries like Firestone Walker want to send me stuff, get my opinion. This is fantastic though. The only thing bad about this one, if I'm being honest with you, is the limited availability. I wish this was available everywhere. Firestone got distro. They should put out bigger batches of this so everybody could taste it, not just the folks in California and folks like myself that they're kind enough to send it to, because people deserve to try this one out and not have to like trade for it and whatnot. They should be able to get it if they get Firestone Walker and or Russian River beer. So fantastic beer, 5.3%. You really can't tell. I'm going to go drink the rest of that probably in like 10-15 minutes. I just love the flavor impact of this one. Very akin to SDS Pils, maybe just not as robust and over the top, but still delicious nonetheless. So I'm going to shut this one down. Thanks to Firestone Walker. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers. Prost.